No, it didn't catch
Hello,
it.
and
It didn't catch it.
we'll find out after we finish recording this. Your little witch laugh.
Oh.
Hello, welcome to episode 103.
Whoa.
I think 103. Fantastic. Steph's joined us, as you can hear, and I haven't told Steph what we're going to talk about because I'm going to assume that what I want to talk about is going to be enough of a conversation starter between the pair of us that we'll just be able to roll with it through the entire episode.
You reckon?
Of which we've done in the past.
Okay.
Now, I'll do the prologue.
Okay.
The prologue to it. I feel like as gamers, I grew up in a on my own. I'm an only child.
Yep.
Just me and my mama. So naturally, when it comes to gaming, I wasn't having to fight over console time.
Nope.
And as a direct result of that, I am able to stink in them hours. I'm able to sink in long hours of gaming without fatigue because that's all I would ever do. And as another result of being an only child, I'm not that good at watching other people play games because I immediately want to play the game myself.
Okay.
Which isn't good.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you, on the other hand, pardon me, grew up with siblings. And, fucking hell, as we've established, Jesus.
Are you well?
I'm good. As we've established.
This will be my final podcast.
That's salmon. Just had half a salmon
It did
for
expire
dinner.
in April, but we won't worry about that.
Yeah, but it was frozen, so
Yeah.
fine. You're very much able and find enjoyment from watching people play games.
Yeah.
And I find the idea of that so alien, but at the same time I love it because it's almost like we're meant to be. Because I love playing the games and you love watching the games. Not to say that you don't play an obscene amount of games, because you definitely do. I would love to do a tally of who's played like the most games because I feel like there's a potential that it might be you as opposed to me, because I feel like you play a lot more, not obscure, but more mainstream games, but also a lot more indie games than I will ever play. Which I'm trying to get into the world of indie games because I find I've got World of Warcraft as my main bread and butter, always will be, always has been, but I do quite enjoy jumping off and playing smaller titles like Dredge. I was about to say It Takes Two, but I don't really think you can consider that as a smaller title. I think it was a smaller title, but
and then it's kind of
through its popularity. And then things like Limbo, Inside, just bought Bramble as well, all very similar, like horror-esque type indies. So yeah, I'm trying to get into that world. The whole point of this conversation, and we are getting there, is we've played many games together. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Well, what do you mean in situations where like I've been your sort of wingman?
Yes, not games that we played together. We've experienced many games together is the right word. And so The Last of Us Part 2, I started playing that without Steph, and I got about an hour in, and then decided no, let's wait, and then I only played it when you was with me. I feel like that's why it felt like it took so long to complete, because at that point I wasn't living with you and I'd only see you on the weekends. So I feel like that's why in my head it feels like it was like an 80-hour game when you look at it, and it was actually, what is it, like 20 to 30 hours, something
long.
like that?
Because do you remember when we were like, oh God, because I looked up how long you play as Abby, and we were like, oh, and you played for like, I think it was like 22 hours as Abby or something like that. But actually we ended up loving it.
I could have been completely wrong on that playtime. I apologise.
Like it was quite long. But still, yeah, like you were sort of forced to sort of slow down than you otherwise would have. If you had been playing it alone, you probably would have been, not rinsing it per se, but probably getting through it a lot quicker.
The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is about 22.5 hours.
Oh, God, maybe it's not that long.
In length, if you're a gamer that strives to see all aspects of the game, you are likely to spend around 40 hours to obtain completion. That sounds about right. 20 hours on one, 20 hours on the other.
Yeah.
Or thereabouts. And then you have games like large snippets of Elden Ring, a lot of the Assassin's Creeds that we've played, like Mirage, fucking, God forbid, Origins. However, now this is the meat of the conversation.
Yeah.
Arguably, the best game that we have ever played, and it was you as my wingman and me as the player, and I'm sure you will agree, Detroit Become Human.
Oh.
And here is dinner served.
Yeah.
It was great. How good was that?
Yeah.
Oh.
If you could have sold that as an experience. Because it was almost like...
Here we go.
It was like the decisions that you have to make in that game, just your own mind is hard enough. But then you've got like the pair of us as a collective mind.
Yeah. Trying to work out what to do. The flow chart, and you'd get to the end and you'd realise you'd missed like half of it. And all the different things that you could have done. Like, it was... We finished it and I had work the following day, and I was working at a place where I was starting at like 3-4 in the morning, and it was way past the time that I was supposed to be going to bed, and I was like, I have to finish this. Like, we have to get this done. I think in hindsight, by the time we was finished, it was like 10:15. Like
probably,
it weren't that late, but for the time that I was getting up, it was. And God, it's such a good game. So fucking incredible. For the people that will listen to this, if you have never played Detroit Become Human, out of all the games that I have ever played, I play it because
it's just absolutely nuts.
I just don't get how you can describe how good it was.
If you could play it again, like it would, you think like it would have to be one of those ones I want my memory like wiped clean.
Yeah,
and then
100%.
To experience it again, like replaying it. And I think I did try and sort of replay it to kind of, choose different stuff. And it was like, no, it's not hitting the same. Arguably more collaborative than when we played The Quarry.
Yeah.
And
yet I'd say
that's
so.
where we had like, because that was like a pass the controller thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I did enjoy that. I did think that was quite good, because that was, I want to say, you bought it for you and Mark, and then you realised you couldn't really play it.
We couldn't.
And it was actually better as a couch co-op.
Yeah, it was designed as a couch co-op, and that was actually very unique in its own way. In that, it wasn't quick. Here's the controller. Like, make a decision. It was, okay, you're playing this section now, and it will prompt saying pass the controller to player 2, and then you pass it over. And that was. I would like there to be more games that would incorporate that, because it didn't force you to play together, but what it meant is that when you wanted to play together, rather than someone playing a portion of the game and then almost feeling bad and going, oh fucking hell, like, we're playing this together, you play, the game itself says, right, you fucking stop, you play, get fucked up, and then you can play, and then you can play. Very, very nice feature to have for couch co-op. It's just very nice, very nostalgic, but with a new take on it.
And that's exactly that, because I mean, I suppose you probably experienced it with like having friends around and stuff, but couch co-op games, or like, what would you call it, like split screen, I guess it used to be called, isn't it, like split screen games,
or just like a LAN party type thing.
Those kinds of games were more frequently played at my house probably than at yours.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was that kind of like nostalgia thing, or even like, obviously I ended up playing I was about to say X No Way Out, but that's the ride at Thorpe Park. Was it A Way Out? A Way Out.
A Way Out.
Have you ever been on X No Way Out? It's the one that goes backwards in Thorpe Park.
No.
Thrilling.
I've never been to Thorpe Park.
Have you not?
No.
You'd hate it. You would hate it.
That's probably why I've never been.
Anyway, A Way Out and It Takes Two.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I ended up playing them with Luce.
Yeah, because me and Mark played A Way Out, and then we played It Takes Two.
Exactly.
And I don't have the capacity to play the games again.
No. And she is my, like, I'm the youngest, and then you got Charlotte, and then Lou. So I know you know that, but anyway. And that felt like really, really nostalgic. Because we also actually, Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
Did you ever play that with a second person?
No.
So,
Is that the one that was on the Wii?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I never played.
And basically, what the second player did, they didn't necessarily have a character, but you could just like collect the star bits, and you kind of had like somewhat of, it was like if someone like me who's like like we were just saying, like sort of a wingman, if you will, or like, oh, look over there, or try this, or have you thought about that kind of thing. It's probably like the only game exists where they've given you like somewhat of a little physical role. Yeah. Because your controller does have a little cursor and you can go around like that. Which when you're, however old I was, maybe like 12, was just like perfect. All I wanted to do, because like you can do all the hard and stressful bits, and I'll just collect all of the
little stars and stuff.
But like also helping, like as I say, it was just like
it's beneficial.
The like perfect kind of game for that.
No risk, all the reward.
Well, yeah. It's like how like when they give like kids a little fake steering wheel or a fake mower.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, the Wii equivalent. But I do think that is. I wish I like games like The Quarry and stuff. Like I would love to play with like more like that with you.
I think there was because I was on the PlayStation store today, just trying to find something that go on.
It just reminded me, we bought them, didn't we?
Which ones?
Oh my god, what are they called? Something like It Never Happens, or It Ends Here? No. It ends
something like that rings a bell.
Yeah, and we bought them, but we've not played them yet.
There was a game that I saw that I was going to buy, and it has Hopper in it, or what's his actual name?
Oh, David Harbour.
David Harbour. He's like the main protagonist in it. When we're done with this, I'll try and find it.
Yeah.
And then we can have a look, see if that is like a co-op thing or not. But back to Detroit Become Human.
Yeah.
I've quickly just pulled it up on Steam. Quantic Dream is the developer and the publisher. It says Detroit Become Human puts the destiny of both mankind and androids in your hands, taking you to a near future where machines have become more intelligent than humans. Every choice you make affects the outcome of the game, which one of the most intricately branching narratives ever created. With one of the most intricately branching narratives ever created. And that was released on 18th of June 2020. Wow, I thought it was longer ago.
Yeah, no, that we were in the...
That might be, it was released on PC.
Yeah, no, it was definitely before that.
Hold on.
I'd be really shocked if it isn't.
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah.
So it came to PC shortly after. 10 out of 10 on Steam with 102,975 overwhelmingly positive reviews.
Because it was Connor, was it Alice, and then the guy who was in Grey's Anatomy.
It's just so...
Jesse? No, that was his name in Grey's Anatomy, I think.
Well, there is a little review from someone. Graphics, you forget what reality is. Gameplay, good. I mean, I thought it was very good. Audio, eargasm. Audience, teens, adults. Game size, workable. Difficulty, significant brain usage. Grind, nothing to grind. Story, it'll replace your life. Game time is long. Price, worth the price. Bugs, never heard of. 10 out of 10. This game taught me that I'm terrible at making decisions under pressure. 100%.
I think it teaches you to be nice to your Alexa, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like,
It's we're probably not doing great justice of explaining the actual gameplay of it, but it is, everything's a decision.
Yeah.
It's basically it. So you're essentially following a story of Connor's the name, isn't it?
There's three interlacing stories.
Yeah.
There's three
but
main
Connor's
characters.
the
first one that
the detective.
Yep.
Yeah. I completely forgot that it was interlacing stories.
Yeah. What's the third guy's name? Because you've got Connor, Alice, and 'Cause Alice is the one, she looks after the little girl, and they're trying to cross the border. No spoilers.
Yeah.
I imagine it's something. I mean, did Mark play it?
I think Mark did play it. Yeah.
There was actually someone, you know, the woman at the start who's like the loading screen lady.
Yeah.
And she'll sort of talk, and she does have somewhat of a small role in it. And it was just like a clip, and it was like AI's taking over the world. This is what's next, and they didn't realise that it was a clip from the game.
Oh, of course.
Because obviously she's quite real. Yeah, they thought it was.
The plot follows 3 androids: Kara.
Oh, Kara.
Who
maybe the little girl is Alice.
Who escapes her owner to explore her newfound sentience and protect a young girl. Connor, whose job is to hunt down sentient androids, and Marcus, who devotes himself to releasing other androids from servitude. And yeah, these storylines all intertwine, and eventually through your decision making, there's a load of different endings. And like you said earlier, there's like a whole menu of like a web that shows you all the different
shows you the path you chose, isn't it? It's like a flow chart.
Yeah, it doesn't tell you the possibilities until you've like bypassed them.
No, it doesn't tell you. It just says question marks.
Oh yeah, of course it does. Yeah. And the gameplay of it is just purely story driven gameplay. There's no like what?
Are you about to say there's no combat?
No.
Oh.
I was going to say there's no but there is, but only very minimal, like free roaming type.
Yeah.
It's free roaming linear. But linear at the same time. Like it will let you walk around the house and shit like that. And
it's more like I seem to remember like with the combat, it was like sort of sequential buttons that you had to press.
Yeah.
Or like it actually utilised. I wonder, that'd be interesting to see how it sort of. I know PS5 still has that little middle bit, but it used that, didn't it? The PS4 controller touchy pad thing.
Yeah.
It used that quite a lot.
Yeah. It wasn't like
the audio in the controller and stuff.
Yeah. It wasn't like a fucking like COD. You didn't pick up a gun and then peek around a corner and shoot someone. It would provide you with actions, and every bit of dialogue interaction would let you respond in a specific way, and that plotted out. It was nothing new. You know what I mean? That system isn't a new incorporated system into gaming. What I liked about it so much is that it, even though you're at the forefront of how the game plays out, I felt almost like very relaxed because it's just answering questions and a little bit of walking around. Don't get me wrong.
Time is a wonderful thing.
No. Don't get me wrong. Tense when you're having to actually answer the questions. I mean,
an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, because you can just sit back in your chair and you can just walk around, and then when the questions pop up, you can answer them and blah de blah de blah. It's not fucking God of War, Last of Us. Let me fucking run around and like do all this crazy shit. And yeah, just I wish there'd be another one. I don't know how there would be another one. I don't know how many endings there were.
Yeah. Oh God, I know. Probably like absolutely fucking loads. But I suppose it's kind of like, I think you could find things that cut a similar mustard. Something like, say, I don't know, not to harp on about Life is Strange, but or like the Telltale games or something like that. But it was, I feel like it was quite refreshing for that kind of genre, wasn't it? It was a new take on it, and I think even just having the 3 like the storylines, they are separate, but they do.
Sorry, there's 85 endings. By the way, 85 different endings.
Like they're separate, but they don't not affect each other.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. You know, like, and it kind of you remember because we watched it after the fact, but remember Humans.
Yeah.
Very, very similar. It was a television show, which unfortunately got cancelled. But kind of that similar concept, wasn't it? Where like this business of robots then having sentience, and especially in like, bearing in mind Humans was probably about 10 years ago. This was at least sort of 6 years ago.
Well, you've got like
iRobot
like
as well. AI now. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I know how this ends.
But
kind of thing. But
I'm always interested by that kind
But
of
then,
shit.
do you not find like that robot dog thing, like a robot dog looking thing,
Yeah, I think
and
so.
they're like kicking it,
yeah,
and it's
and
like
it's
struggling to stand back
restabilising
up.
itself and shit
That
like
makes me feel sick.
that. Does it?
Yeah,
Why?
because I just feel so bad for it. Like,
Yeah.
you're just kicking it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
That.
Or like the little robot, like cleans up its own oil.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And I mean, it is gone now. But
what did it finally die?
I think so. I'm pretty sure it
Christ,
did. Yeah.
it's been going for ages.
But like that is, I don't know. It's just it does something about it.
It's mechanical sympathy.
Yeah.
I feel like that is why when it comes to things like AI and robots, I would very much be excited by that, purely because if you present me with a robot humanoid, fully AI brain, basically, that is capable, much like how AI is now, of answering the questions and holding a conversation and things like that.
Yeah.
Even though it's just fucking metal and wiring and electricity, I'm going to consider that thing sentient.
Well, at the end of the day, what are we?
I know.
Just a bit of meat, really.
Yeah. And so you give me this robot and then turn around and go, you don't have to care about that. It doesn't have feelings. I'll be sitting there going, no, it does. It does have feelings.
And you'll be sorry.
I'm telling you, that robot has feelings.
Yeah.
It's answering the questions like a real person. Therefore, my monkey brain tells me that's a real person. Look after it. But even with cars, mechanical sympathy for cars.
Hugely.
Huge. With so much stuff. You just, I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's a human to robot thing.
I don't know.
But everyone has it. Or with game characters and things like that.
Yeah.
How you just
feel very connected.
You have a genuine care for a lot of things that you love.
Well, it's like, I remember, I think I was like on holiday, and my mum had been playing on my DS, and she accidentally wiped one of my saves. I was like, oh god, they're all dead. Like, I just remember like, oh no. Yeah, it's odd, and I feel like you're either like that or you're not. I mean, like, I know, and I'm sure I've said on here before, like, I'm someone who, even in games, like, I do struggle to be evil. Fair enough in games where you're literally, or something like Assassin's Creed. No, I don't give a shit. Like, that kind of thing. You would just gonna, but in other kinds of
Baldur's
games.
Gate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just can't be horrible.
No.
I can't do it. I don't know why. I can't do it.
No. And I think even if I were to go on like okay, on this run I'm gonna be evil, I'd be like, well, yeah, until you looked at me like that kind of thing.
Yeah, because I like how Ash loves to play the evil person when he's playing a game, because he says he can't be that person in real life, so therefore in the game it's your one and only chance to.
He's got an itch to scratch.
Whereas myself, with that kind of stuff, how I am in person is how I want to be in the game. I want to put myself in the game, not in a sense of pure role playing. Like, yeah, this is me. Just the way that my brain works doesn't change because I'm playing a game.
Yeah.
As long as I can operate in the same realms as what my brain would allow me and what the game allows me, then yeah, I will try and be. I think like, what would I do? Not what would this character do? What would I do? Because this character is now me. And
like, I've been in one. I can't remember which game it was, but it was this situation where it was like a bit weird, but you kind of, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll just I'll go along with it, and then it was like, you're fucked because this and the other. Like, and I probably would be in real life because I can't. I'll always try and see like the good in someone rather than automatically be.
I feel like if I was walking down the street and then someone pulled a knife on me and tried to rob me.
Oh, don't talk about that, please.
Someone pulled a gun and tried to shoot me.
No, that's not better. Anyway, go on.
Okay. Someone tried to run me over. Something's happened.
Right.
I feel like I would my instant thought would be, what's happened for you to want to do this?
Would it?
I think so. I do think so, because I don't want to die, but at the same time, I don't think anyone really wants to try and kill someone to rob them for their wallet. There's a reason why someone's doing that.
No.
Put the knife down, give me a hug, and I'll fucking batter you for trying to take my wallet.
Let's talk about this.
No!
Yeah.
Don't take it.
And that's why I have nightmares about people stabbing you.
I had a dream last night that someone was stabbing me.
Oh, funny.
It was awful.
Funny. Oh, was it?
Multiple times,
Was
top
it?
left of my chest, right?
Yeah.
I was fuming.
Ah.
I was so angry. Because he came at me with a knife in the dream, and I was angry. Maybe
Did it feel real? Did it?
Yeah, maybe. But so did reactions. Listen to the reactions.
Okay.
Maybe this is why what I've just said is absolute bollocks, because he come at me with a knife, and my immediate reaction was to grab hold of the knife and try and take it, like basically try and snap his wrist. And I was just shouting at him because I couldn't believe that this guy was about to try and stab me. He then proceeds to stab me like maybe 10 times, like in the top left of my body. I was so fucking angry. And then I woke up.
What, felt fine?
No pain. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I woke up, had a drink, and then went straight back to bed.
Oh.
But I was so furious. I was like, how dare you?
Well, I mean,
how dare you? Steph's going to be so angry.
Well,
so angry.
And in case anyone was wondering why my reaction was just then, it's because I had a nightmare the other night that someone was trying to stab Reese, and woke up and was crying and like gasping, and Reese was literally like, stop it, go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? The other dream I had, and I have so many, like, probably like twice a year, and like my mouth is full of something, and I'm constantly like trying to get it out, and I can't get it out. Horrible. Like, imagine like
that's probably
fluff.
You probably realise that's like where we've got the fan on. Your mouth's just
so
mega dry, and it's like,
but it's horrible. Like, imagine just constantly trying to get it out, and it's just constantly full, and that's the whole dream. There's probably some like weird psychological thing there. But yeah, like I longed, there was like, oh, I dreamt that I was naked on a stage. That seems like such a sedate dream.
Yeah.
Compared
I
to
dreamt
the
I
kind
had
of
my
dreams.
fucking legs cut off and fed to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's just dreams are mad, man.
I wonder how a game would play out if it was all centered around someone going to sleep.
Could you imagine,
and dreaming?
like, you know how the Animus would work?
Yeah.
And I know there's some sort, you can do like the VR where you're on a hoist, aren't you? You're on a treadmill on like a 360
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, and you
like
can move
that's
around
kind
and
of like getting there. But imagine like something, technology advances to the point where it is like the Animus, and you're laying down, and then like as far as you're concerned, you're literally in, 1798 in the middle of fucking Italy, and you're this, that, and the other. Like, that kind of thing would be so crazy. Like, you close your eyes, and when you wake up, you are literally, it's not, and you don't get like motion sick from the VR or anything like that.
Imagine if you just didn't wake up though.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm in the Animus.
Okay.
Laid down.
Yeah.
Lay in this Animus, Reese, and we'll send you. Oh no. We'll send you back to.
Like, you become like an ancestor, I guess.
Yeah, something like that. We'll send you back to whenever. And then you're aware that you're in the Animus. Or I suppose, no, you're not. Because in Assassin's Creed, when they go back in the Animus, they're not aware that they're in the Animus.
Yeah, they are.
No.
Yeah, like Desmond, he knew what Ezio was doing. He knew what he was doing as Ezio.
Yeah,
didn't
but
he?
Yeah, but Ezio didn't know that he was.
Oh, sorry. He didn't realise that he was Desmond. No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
Desmond.
with you.
Desmond went and became Ezio, but Ezio didn't. He became Ezio, and in doing so, Ezio didn't realise that he was.
You were viewing Ezio's memories.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I suppose, yeah, because you didn't become that, but you did become that person, because then when Desmond come out of the Animus, he towards the end he had the parkour skills and the combat skills and everything like that.
And that was, I believe, the original premise of, like, when it would be like, don't alert the guards or like use the smoke bombs. It was something like that, because you had to complete the memory how Ezio did it. Otherwise, you'd desynchronise, wouldn't it? So like, don't get caught, don't get seen,
Yeah.
don't kill this person
couldn't-
because he didn't. And if you did that, you'd get
you couldn't
kicked
change
off.
history.
Yeah.
What was we talking about that for?
Dreams.
Sit in the Animus. I'll send you back in time. Decent. All right. Now, am I aware when I wake up in 1700s that I'm currently in the Animus and I've been sent back in time and I'm exploring this world?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I'm aware. Well, then that must be terrifying and exciting at the same time, because then you must have that thought of, what if I just don't wake up? I'm just stuck here permanently in an Animus. But I
just couldn't do the toilets. You know? That's what would break it for me.
Well, I would imagine that you just wouldn't go to the toilet. Or would you?
Or what if I never nap again? Whoa. Brush your teeth. Stub your toe, probably get some sort of infection, die from it.
Yeah, but you wouldn't.
Ripe
get
old
that
age of
because
27.
You're not. Are you immortal when you're in?
Well,
How does
no,
it
because you
work?
die. That's the thing. Every time you die, it would come up player desynchronized, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
originally.
and then you just come back and then you go, oh,
you just start
fuck.
again. Yeah.
I fucked that up. But it would be, you'd be reliving memories. You wouldn't be able to go back as a new person or take over someone. It would have to be that you would just be like with the actual Animus, you're just reliving someone's existence, because then the butterfly effect would take over. Everything's going to be fucked up.
That's the other thing, the show that we actually didn't finish watching with Chloe Moretz in it. You know that thing? I can't remember what it's called.
I stepped on a squirrel and now everyone shits out peanuts for fun.
No, that's not what it was called.
No, I mean, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yes. But you know, and she had that weird thing, and it was making her like nosebleed and shit. She was from like a random little town.
Yeah,
and
we
she
never
went and
finished
she was in, like weird. But it was quite.
Yeah.
It had promise.
It did have promise.
But it was her body was being like affected by the fact that she was being. It was almost like
she was getting to. I feel like it was getting to the point where she was going to be able to traverse the two without having the.
Yeah.
Do
you know that the Black Mirror episode where they do that, isn't it? And they're in space, and it's Jesse from Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Yeah, and they've got like an avatar in space.
Yep.
And then their real bodies on Earth.
Yep. And then he's with that other geezer, isn't he?
Yeah.
And then it all kicks off.
Yeah.
Because isn't it?
You can't then go back. He couldn't go back to his physical body, so his mind was stuck in space.
Yeah, and he took over, didn't he? Yeah.
That was a good episode though, and that's probably exactly what would happen. And then you get like really like when you get really paranoid about leaving your actual body.
Well, that is what the story was, wasn't it? That
yeah.
he was paranoid that he was going to get fucking done in. You wouldn't you? Though.
Well, no, without spoiling it, he did, didn't he? His wife and kid got.
You spoiled it.
Sorry.
Yeah. But you wouldn't you?
Everything was well.
I'm in the International Space Station with one other person.
Wasn't there people stuck there right now? There's literally people stuck on the space station right now.
Possibly.
Yeah, no, they've got like a couple of weeks left, I think.
What?
They're in real trouble.
What?
Yeah, they can't get back. It's something to do with Boeing.
Oh, of course it fucking is.
Yeah. I think it's a man and a woman, and they're stuck on the space station.
International Space Station. Stranded Boeing astronauts are stuck on International Space Station, NASA says in urgent update. The two astronauts stranded are still not able to come home, NASA has said. Two astronauts went to the space station almost 50 days ago as part of a test of Boeing's Starliner capsule. But the spacecraft was plagued by problems both before and after the launch. And since then, engineers have delayed the return until they can understand what went wrong. The work is still not finished and the space agency cannot give a date for them to come back. It said on an update on Wednesday, test pilots Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams were supposed to visit the orbiting lab for about a week and return in mid-June, but thruster failures and helium leaks on Boeing's new Starliner capsule prompted NASA and Boeing to keep them up there longer. Wow. Not ready to announce a return date. We'll come home when we're ready.
Creepy, isn't it?
Just gone up there to have an affair.
Yeah. No, you turn around and they're there leaking the helium out of the edge of the thing.
NASA had initially said that the spacecraft would be safe for a 45-day stay, though the astronauts have now been in space for longer than that. The space agency has said it would be possible to stay for twice that, and that when the spacecraft goes into full usage, it is approved to stay for as long as 21 days. Engineers last week completed testing on a space thruster in New Mexico desert to try and understand what went wrong during docking and to prepare for the trip home. That's crazy.
Could you imagine having to get back in that? Going like, yeah, well, I mean, we're pretty sure it's fixed now, but we've run out of time really. So if you don't hop back on, you're probably going to like die anyway. So in you get. I mean, that must be well nerve-wracking.
I just think that what a turn this episode is. I just think what a mind.
It's a very spacey, futuristic theme.
Yeah. Any of the flat earthers listening, going, none of this is real. You can fuck off. All right. If you're listening, going, it's all bollocks. Look in the mirror, really understand what you're looking at, and fuck off. All right, because you're living in a weird land. Okay. Now with the normal people that are in the real world. I can't get my head over the fact of being in space.
No, it's mad, isn't it?
I cannot comprehend that.
Like, you look far enough and it goes dark.
I know.
Obviously, like, not with our eyes,
or when we let Rue out. And for ages, I must look like an absolute Neanderthal, because for ages, I catch myself where I'm just staring up at the stars.
I love it.
For about 5 minutes, just staring.
Mm.
And I'm like, this is mental.
Mm-hmm. And
this is genuinely mental.
You're
or just
there,
staring at the moon and seeing the craters on it and going, what the fuck?
The just endless expanse of space, and then you're like, oh, council tax. Do you know what I mean? Like, God, someone was nasty to me at school.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally just like, what the fuck?
I'm going to look up at the stars.
Oh, they've changed the days that the bins go out.
Millions and billions of years old and untold mysteries that I'm currently staring at, with probably things staring back. And all I can think of is that I'm in East Putney tomorrow and how long of a drive that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But it does.
I know.
So turning around and saying, like, the universe is so big, like, your problems aren't really problems. You go, no, they are, because I'm here. Of course they are.
Yeah.
I'm here, they're my problems. I can't just say, well, Mars exists, so therefore I don't have to pay this mortgage because we're in the universe. Like, I'm not paying today because there's a black hole out there. I'm not doing it. All right? I'm not doing it.
It is so mad. It is so mad. I forgot what I was just about to say.
It's crazy.
Oh, that's it. But, like, the cutest thing, like, about humans is to go, like, oh, yeah, all of this stuff, like, everything we've just said. And then you go, but we're definitely the only ones. Like, we're probably going to be the only ones. And, like, everyone, they're all aliens. And if they're aliens, they've probably got, like, no legs. And they're all just, like, they don't even speak. And they just clearly just, hulk around the planet and don't have, what we have. They don't have, like, their version of the iPhone or anything like that. I mean, that is so dumb. Like, of course there's shit out there. We can't even see the edge of our own galaxy. Never mind the other fucking, like, billion, trillion, like, whatever galaxies there are.
My argument has always...
Can't even see out, like, our own solar system, really.
My argument has always been that as humans and life form on this planet, we require specific conditions to be able to thrive and stay alive. Like oxygen. Yes. Mm-hmm. Carbon life forms. My argument for it has always been, well, what if other things in space just aren't made the same as we are? They just don't need things like oxygen or water. What if they need other things? Like, that's like, very possible.
How can... When you think of, like, how... I mean, all of the depictions in Hollywood and stuff of everything else and being, it's always that we're being, like, overrun or they're trying to attack us or whatever. But then you kind of go, like, there has to be, like, not necessarily like a parallel universe, but, like, there has to be something just like this. We can't believe that we're the only ones that gone like, that this water's really wide. What can we do to get across it? Oh, I know. What if we build something? Oh, we'll call it a bridge, and we'll do like that kind of shit. Like, it has to be just out there somewhere. Like, they've got no interest in coming to us. I thought, like, what really frightened me though was it was a little while ago, probably maybe like last year, and they were like, yeah, we've sent some messages out saying, like, get in touch. Why?
Why
How
would you
about
not want
shut
people
up?
to get in? No, get in
Shut
touch.
up.
I run with the idea.
Stop poking everybody.
I run with the idea that we have been visited and are still visited many times by a much more sophisticated and intelligent life form, and we are essentially being kept as not prisoner, but I feel like other life has come to this planet and gone, they're not ready. They're not ready for us, because all they do
leave them to it.
all they do is kill each other.
Yeah.
That's all they do. They aren't ready. They're prepared to blow up their own planet
Yeah.
over things that don't matter.
Yeah.
They're not ready.
I mean, honestly, just take us out.
But that's exactly
Just take us all out.
but that's just exactly what I said, but on a much grander scale of, just because the universe exists, it doesn't mean that my little problems aren't problems, because they're problems for me. Imagine if aliens on a different planet have knowledge of the entire universe, so understand just how vast and how much shit is going on. They would probably look at our planet and go, what the fuck are they worrying about? Look at all the shit that they've got around them. But we don't know about that, so here's a nuke, I'm going to blow you up.
But then don't you love it? Like,
But you would look at it. You imagine, you don't go to a prison and go, I'm going to live there. You go, keep them there, I'm staying away.
but do you not think that, like, fundamentally, as a race, like, I do think that humans are cute. Like, we are cute. When you think, like, I know there's all the dickheads and the dictators and the, murderers and whatever, but, like, we just like to have a chat and a laugh, have a little sing-song.
I always find it weird how we're all
some other people on the...
so unique, but then you look at other animals and they're just not.
But then I think that we are.
Polar bears, they all look the same. They all look the same.
Yeah, but then, like, chavs, they all look the same.
Okay, yeah,
They
fair
do.
enough.
You go to a club in Basildon, everyone's wearing a tight fucking t-shirt and them little skinny checkered chinos
With
and
their
some
little man
loafers.
purse.
Yeah.
Yeah, decent.
Yeah.
And turkey teeth.
Yeah.
All ready to go.
Everyone on Love Island.
Rose tattooed on the
They
hand.
could basically be twins.
Ooh.
Could you look at a cast from Love Island that you didn't watch, not like the handful of ones that we did watch, just look at Love Island that we didn't watch. They literally look related.
Yeah.
If not like the same people copy and
they
pasted
go
12
for the
times.
same demographic.
And that's the same. I think, and that's not me just attacking like people like that. It's the same with like emo people or any kind of like.
That's not me attacking the pretty people. There's the ugly ones as well.
No, look, I've been there. I've been there, done that. Okay. I've been called a man in Disneyland Paris.
I've been called a woman before when I had long hair years ago when I was getting ready to get off a train and there was a dad there and his little son.
Let the lady go.
Yeah, the door's open. He said, "Let the lady go."
Oh fuck. Yeah,
Thanks, mate.
Oh, bonjour, ladies. Oh, sorry, and gentlemen. I didn't eat my breakfast. Not going on any rides today.
And this is why the aliens won't bother. But yes, I.
But then we're aliens to them.
I know.
We're aliens.
You can't. I mean, that is as long as we're not in some form of simulation. Oh
God, don't start doing that.
Every single idea is just as plausible as every other idea.
Someone else is playing Detroit with us.
Yeah, just like how we were talking about the lottery yesterday and that picking numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is just as good as picking random numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same fucking probability. It just doesn't seem like that, but it is. And it's the same with this in that, yeah, there's as much chance that we are in a simulation as there is that we're not.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? Because how can you prove it? You can't prove that.
Oh, don't. Yeah, but then, because then you're going to go, okay, well, do you not have free will then? Do you not think that you have free will?
No, I don't think that I do.
Really?
To be fair. No, because you are guided, or we are anyway, and I know there's people that aren't, and that's why most of them are in prison, but we are guided by things like karma or empathy, sympathy, feelings,
trauma.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm standing at a set of lats.
I'll be standing at a set of lights.
I'm standing.
And I said to myself,
I'm standing at a set of traffic lights, right?
why are you standing?
There's an old. I'm waiting for them to go green.
Oh, what, you're a pedestrian?
I'm a pedestrian.
Right, okay.
There's an old lady standing next to me. There's a thought in the back of your mind that says, push her. Just push her.
Right.
But if I had free will, I'd push her. Don't
No,
worry
you
about the
wouldn't.
consequences. You push her. But
That's not no.
But it's the other part of your brain that goes, no, that's bad. Don't do that. Don't let the intrusive thoughts kick in. If you really had free will, your brain's coming up with those kind of thoughts, it would act on them. Because where are those thoughts coming from? It's almost your brain.
The naughty bit of your
The
brain.
naughty bit of my brain says,
And
push
that's
the old
why I always
lady.
stand with my back to the wall on a tube platform. Should anyone else be battling with their internal thoughts?
The call of the void.
Yeah.
Why was we talking about free will?
Oh.
Oh my god, this episode is just so not gaming orientated.
Yeah.
The first half of it was.
I believe in the very, very first blurb of What's the Buttons, it says gaming and like general chit chat or something like that.
Oh, there you go.
I believe we're in the general chit chat
Here's
section.
your general chit chat section.
Yeah.
I just think that space is so fascinating.
I think people come to expect it when you and I are on here.
I want No Man's Sky,
Yeah.
but in real life.
Would you, if you could, if they, something like, I don't know, Wall-E, like when they basically go, well, this planet's fucked. Everyone get on this big ship and we'll go and like fuck up another planet. Or like, let's say there was an option to go, or like Passengers with Chris.
Is it fleshed out and will it actually work? I'm not jumping in like fucking SpaceX and then
No,
hoping
but
it
the
don't blow up.
The point being is, would you go? Would you go?
Would I go? What's the family situation like?
Oh,
Am I on my own?
Um,
Or is it just you and me? If
Oh.
Rue's still knocking about, I can't leave her.
no, she can come.
I wouldn't want to do that to her though.
She'll be grand. She'll be all right.
What are we dying from?
No. That's not what I mean.
Oh, this
There's
is just
a
a genuine
chance to
choice. Do you
go.
want to go to Tenerife or do you want to go to fucking Pluto? Which one?
No, I mean like they've like established another planet, and you could there's like a resort on there, all inclusive.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm taking the trip. Yes.
Would you?
Yeah.
What if it takes you a year to get there?
Fuck.
But the ship's like decent. It's like a cruise ship.
Again, I don't want to leave the dog.
Okay, the dog is fine. The dog's fine. The dog can come.
The dog isn't an issue here.
Yeah, she can come.
Okay.
She's fine, and she'll be absolutely fine.
And she'll be absolutely
They've
fine.
made it like dog safe.
Okay.
Dogs love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
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 What? How?
Because why would you not?
Oh man, what, travel for a year? Ugh.
Yeah, but you're travelling through space.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah,
going to get
But
boring.
do you not? Have you ever seen a single space movie where they're like everything goes fine, no troubles, nothing happens, definitely no arc reactor that's malfunctioned. And you've got to put a suit on.
but planes also crash.
Yeah, I don't like them either.
Still get on
Neither
them.
do
I
you.
don't like them either. But you still get in a car.
Yeah.
It's that comfortability.
Yeah.
If your mind was comfortable with it, then yeah,
Mm.
yeah, of course I would.
Mm.
100%.
And this actually is funny. Because I listen to my audiobook in the car. I wonder if Connor, because Connor listens to audiobooks, doesn't he?
Yeah.
If he feels the same. When you're listening to a particular like interesting bit of the audiobook, it really brings to the forefront of my mind, God, if I crash now, like, so help the paramedics that come and help me, because if my car is still playing this audiobook, I'm going to be so embarrassed. Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, it does carry on playing.
Although you say that, but I started chatting to Meg about it, and she said when she flipped her car, the music stopped.
Yeah, probably because the battery because the car probably.
She said it was a 21 Pilots song, and then her car did break.
Yeah, her car died. But
Yeah.
I
Do you think
remember
mine would
seeing
carry on?
I remember seeing a video ages ago of someone asking that question, and they had a car crash, and they said, "No, I can confirm the radio stays on at the volume that it was on,
But
unless the
then-
car cuts out."
Well, yeah, that's the thing. So when I stall my car,
Mhm.
it turns off the music.
Oh well, it doesn't in the van.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm pretty sure if I stall my car, it stops.
Yeah, probably
Oh,
because
maybe I'll try that.
probably because it cuts out the whole
that
vehicle.
probably might allay my fears, because there's some parts of that audiobook that's like,
I mean,
I get even embarrassed at the fact that the dash cam can hear it. I'm like, oh, dash cam, don't
Why?
listen. It's just parts of the book that just like very NSFW. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know.
We'll leave you with all of them thoughts. Eh?
Wait, so other than WoW, what games are you playing this week?
Bramble.
Bramble.
I played a
Okay.
bit of Dead by Daylight today.
Did you? How was that? Did Mark play?
No, I wanted to play the 2v8 mode because it's a limited event until the 8th of August.
And did you play with someone you didn't know? Like, is that what you did?
I
I
played as a survivor.
Oh, okay.
To see how it went.
In a team of 8?
Yeah.
Did you win?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was very easy. It was good. It was fun. But at the same time, I don't really know what I was expecting because it's just exactly the same as normal Dead by Daylight,
map?
just more people. No, it's not a bigger map.
Oh, okay.
There's more Jennies.
It's so weird. My very, very first introduction to Dead by Daylight, you actually couldn't join a game because there were so few players.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that wild? You were like, yeah, I don't think it's got much more in it, to be honest. There's no one playing it.
How Dead by Daylight has had the resurgence that it's had, because I remember when it first came out, it was popular, and then it more or less died, and then just fucking come straight back. So props to the developers for keeping that one fucking going because it is very popular now.
Yeah, and being able, you know how they got in, they had the Stranger Things characters. They've got
Lara Croft's in it now.
Yeah, I reckon that's probably got something to do with it.
There's a lot because you think the horror movie genre is incredibly large, and there's so many iconic characters from Freddy Krueger to fucking Leatherface. There's just the Xenomorph, even the fucking Demogorgon. There's so much shit, and yeah, they're one of the only games that can really, really tap into that with a replayable thing.
Yeah.
Other than a skin on COD or fucking Fortnite or some shit like that. Dead by Daylight does it really, really well, and they do the skins and everything really well, but they're on the PlayStation Store at the moment, all of them, and there's just so many that, because obviously I haven't played it for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so much cool shit, and that has to be the thing that's kept them. But I don't know what it is about it, because it's such a simple game, and yet I've put so many hours into that game and can quite happily pick it straight back up and just continue playing for another couple of hours and then let it go for another couple of months and then back in again. Maybe it's its simplistic nature, but I don't know. It's just a very fun game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played that for a bit, and it was good. It wasn't overwhelming. It wasn't underwhelming.
I think it's something that you
right.
and as killers, you and Mark would enjoy. I think.
Yeah, I didn't
you'd gather quite a lot.
Yeah, because I didn't play it. Mark told me to play as a killer and see how it is, but I forgot to. Because I didn't actually see if you can. I would imagine you can queue up, with a friend as both the killers, which I feel would be a very cool element to it, because you've never been able to do that.
No.
You've always been able to queue up with as a friend, as a survivor, but you've never been able to have two killers, and you've never, unless you've been really lucky, been able to play as one killer and then one survivor. Back in the day, you used to be able to do that quite easily because there were so few people playing that if someone decided to be a killer and someone decided to be a survivor, which is what we did quite often, queue at the same time, and most of the time you would be put in the same lobby.
Wow.
So you could run around and I'd fucking...
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking do you in. So yeah, that's about it really.
Yeah.
About it.
I've been mainly playing I've got hankering to crack out the PSP.
Well, you've been playing ESO.
I have been playing ESO. I have been playing ESO, and it felt really good actually. It was nice. Yeah. Mainly just learning what the fucking buttons are again.
What's with the resurgence on that one? What's made you fucking scratch that itch?
I don't know. You know, when you get in that lull and nothing feels like nothing's getting it. And I don't know. I just I bought a little solid state drive to try and get Baldur's Gate on my computer, and it didn't. I can't remember what I did. I basically just changed my mind, I think, or I did it and then it was pretty shit, and I was realistically, I've got other options. I'm not gonna take up this space. So it was kind of just sat there, and I'd wiped the ESO off earlier in the year, and yeah, I just thought, well, fuck it, go again, and it runs really well. It runs as well as it ever did. From the portable drive.
Yeah, because they just had a new expansion come out, didn't they?
Oh, Gold Road.
Gold Road.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not about to drop, go back into ESO Plus or anything like that, because I think it's very, especially if you're playing it casually. It's not. I don't think ESO Plus is necessarily something you need.
ESO is very good, bang for buck in terms of like immersion and storylines. For the casual player, it's fantastic because everything is fucking voice lined, voice acted, which I find so incredible. And there's such little pressure. I'm envious of it. I'm envious of the way that you play ESO and any other MMO as to the way that I would play and do play MMOs, because I feel like when I play them, my enjoyment at the moment and for a long time comes from getting to the end game and making that character as powerful as it can possibly be made, and doing all of the end game content, which in an MMO is the main goal. However, there's so much other shit on your way there, and then even at the end you can fucking skip all of that, all the dungeons and stuff. And I'm just envious of people that don't have that drive, but aren't nearly as worried about that.
Like I learnt very quickly to just leave it behind, but the first couple of times doing dungeons, it really pissed me off, because obviously you have to skip through the dialogue of the quest because everyone else is
Everyone's fucked off, yeah.
Because they've already done it.
Yeah.
Like they've long done. And obviously once you're back in a dungeon that you've done before and you don't need to do the quest, fine. But yeah. And then what that then got me into like a bad habit of doing is just skipping the dialogue on everybody. And then I think we both kind of were like, hang on a minute, what are we doing?
Yeah, this isn't
like
good.
they didn't crack out fucking Michael Gambon for us to then skip it.
Vestige.
And yeah, so, and like even just like yesterday, I didn't have that long to play it, but I was like, oh fuck it, and I just went on, like, did a delve. There was a quest there, and I listened to what they was mostly what they were saying, until he sort of like started to harp on a bit. I was like, anyway, and then I was like, oh well, that was a fun half hour, because it was all I really had. And then you can just like, I feel like I've not stopped in the middle of something. It's just a short little bit. I've got some XP, that kind of shit. So yeah, I think, and now that I have it on there, and it's not a choice between, because obviously storage is an issue for me, except now it's not. So like I'll keep that now, and then can just like dabble, because I mean like, so I know like what you did with the crates and stuff, like when we'd finished and we had like a build up of crowns, and obviously you spent all yours, and I was just like, no, I don't, like, realistically I know that we're about to both stop playing it. I'm just going to leave them there. I'm
a spender, man. Spend it while I can.
So yeah.
The rushing and everything is terrible. It's the reason why Connor doesn't play World of Warcraft at the moment. It's the reason why when I finally got him involved and playing, why he dropped out, because we made the mistake of just rushing the geezer through the levels straight into dungeons, just fucking spamming dungeons. And it's very much the same thing in ESO as it is in WoW. Everyone's played the dungeons before. Everyone's just interested in get to the end, kill the last boss, get the XP, fuck off, rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Because it's a quick way to level.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine. But for the new player, it's dreadful. It's fucking awful. And there's nothing in place, or there never used to be, that would prevent that. WoW's made some decent changes in the instance of follower dungeons, where you can now go into the dungeons solo and the rest of the party is AI, and you can toggle between either having the party go through the dungeon at their will, or they won't continue unless you continue. So that allows you, as a new player, to get a feel for the character, get a feel for the dungeon. No one's rushing you. It's the same loot. It's the same XP. I think when they first come out, I'm not sure if it still is a thing or if they're going to change it, but you could only do 10 a day, which, to be fair, 10 a day is quite a large amount.
Yeah.
But it was also only capped out to the Dragonflight dungeons, so level 60 and onwards. Everything before then, you'd have to do normal queues with normal people, which is when everyone really does fucking rush right through. So I'm hoping that when the War Within comes in, that they will make that for every dungeon, make them all follower dungeons, because that just allows the solo player to have another chance.
Yeah.
Because I really want Connor to have another crack at it. It was really fun with Ash playing it, but like he said, it's just not comfortable for him to be able to play on a laptop, and that's his only option to be able to play it. Whereas Connor, he knows that he would love to play World of Warcraft. It's just so extremely overwhelming, much like how ESO is, in that you've got all these DLCs, all these expansions. Fucking where am I supposed to go? Someone turns around and says, it doesn't matter, do whatever you want to do. That's still not enough.
No.
Because you've given me 100 different areas. You're telling me none of them matter. I just need to get to this certain point, and then I need to go to this zone because this one matters. I still feel extremely lost because there's all these different systems. WoW's terrible for it. There's a million different systems that are now long redundant that must be so overwhelming for a brand new character who doesn't have someone that's guiding them.
Yeah.
Because you'd go, well, what the fuck is this? What is this? What there is in WoW, which I'm going to sign up for, is a guide system where, like with Final Fantasy, and I think ESO does have one as well, where for new players you have your own dedicated chat in game with mentors. So you go in there, you ask questions, and then these assigned people will help you out. And yeah, to become one on WoW, you have to have done 3,000 quests and then be level 70, which I've done. So, yeah, I'm going to become a guide to try and help people out, because I just think that's the main reason why people struggle with MMOs, because there's so much.
It's hard to get into, yeah.
Yeah, but once you get into like them, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine being a gamer that doesn't play an MMO. I can't fathom it, because I mean, proof's in the pudding. You like ESO, I like ESO. You like it more than I do because I'm stuck with WoW. But once you know what the fuck's going on, oh my god, they're incredible, because they're just always something that you can go back to, and you feel like you're a part of something. And then with the guilds and the communities that you can get involved in with every fucking MMO, like the guild that I'm in now, I'm part of something, which I hope you would find on ESO as well, just to make it that little bit more inviting. But yeah, definitely ESO's leaps and bounds ahead of WoW when it comes to. Why did you jump so much? It was your phone.
Really frightened me.
Proper frightened you.
It did.
Leaps and bounds ahead of like the new player experience. It's still not great, but it's definitely ahead of WoW. But WoW's doing a lot of things to make it a lot better. So yeah, right. Should we go to bed?
Always a pleasure.
Go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I might go and watch Handmaid's Tale with Mum, but at the same time, maybe also
go for it. Right. Thanks for listening, everyone. See you later. Uru.
Uru.